Yeah, welcome also from my side. I'm Christian Nickl. I'm the project leader for Amovio. Um, yeah, I'm this year's APL speaker, and I would like to give you a general introduction is in AUTOSAR, and then after that I will hand over to Jing from the China Hub, our China representative, and he will continue with the presentation. Okay, yeah, Joachim introduced already and welcomed you to the 17th AUTOSAR Open Conference here in Shanghai. 2018, we had the last one here in Shanghai. It was my first AUTOSAR Open Conference, and I'm happy to be again here in this very big and very nice city. And yeah, first of all, I will give you a general introduction. Yeah, the the mission of AUTOSAR is that we are an global partnership of leading companies in the automotive and software industry, and to develop and establish standardized software framework and an open EE architecture for intelligent mobility. The AUTOSAR core partners, we welcomed in January 2026 the 3 new core partners. It's Denso, it's Huawei, and Vector Informatik as new core partners. And now the 10 core partners of AUTOSAR are Amovio, which is the automotive spin-off of Continental, then Bosch, Vector, Huawei, Mercedes-Benz, General Motors, BMW, Denso, Toyota, and Volkswagen. But what would be the core partner without all the other partners? And I would like to give you a short overview of our global distribution of AUTOSAR partners. And you see that in Asia, we have now most of our partners. It's 147 partners are located in Asia. We have 122 in Europe. We have 38 in North America, and we have 4 in Africa. Yeah, the leading companies of the automotive industry are partners in AUTOSAR, and 31 international automotive OEMs are AUTOSAR partners, and 18 are under the 20 top selling OEMs. You see the graphics on the left, on the right. And it shows the total market revenue from 2023. And together with the OEMs, the tier ones, and the suppliers, our partners are collaborating to shape the future of intelligent mobility. What are now the benefits of an AUTOSAR standardized software framework? We provide an holistic ecosystem for innovative electronic systems with high performance, safety, and security. These are our unique selling points. We have this layered architecture, hardware and software widely independent of each other. It enables distributed parallel development, and it reduces, therefore, development time and costs. And finally, it should enhance quality and efficiencies through software reuse. What do you now receive from AUTOSAR? What are our deliverables? First, we have our foundation. It's the base of the standard. It ensures compatibility between the standards. It contains our common artifacts, the meta model, and all our protocol specifications. Based on the foundation, we have our classic platform, which is still, I would say, very important in all EE architectures in the real-time environment, where we deliver our specification. And we have the adaptive platform, which was now introduced nearly 10 years ago, where we have also specification and source code. Already from the beginning, we had our demonstrator code. But what is new now is CAPI, the Common Adaptive Platform Implementation, where we will hear more in the later part of the presentation. And on top of this, we have the application interfaces and the sensor interfaces, which you can use for application development. Okay, and with this slide, I will hand over to Jing. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Christian. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jing. I'm representing AUTOSAR in China. In the next 15 minutes, I would like to share with you mainly 2 points. One is the trend of AUTOSAR technology application on the market. The other one is introduction of what we do at China Hub. Sorry. So next page. So on this page, we collected information from the market who are joining AUTOSAR or upgrading their status in the last year. This is only a small subset. And this subset represented many companies who are rather successful in the software-defined vehicles era. I believe you can see the big names globally like NVIDIA, like ARM, Synopsys, or Qualcomm. And you can also see many names from China, like Nickl or Geely, Li Auto, and Huawei, etc. And from the timeline, you can see this is roughly the time where software-defined vehicles come into vision of people and really are realized on the market. And our China Hub was officially set up in 2022, especially to support this trend. And you can also see very specially Huawei logos here appear 3 times. I would like to emphasize that. In 2018, Huawei joined AUTOSAR as a premium partner. And then in 2022, Huawei upgraded into the premium partner plus status. And this year, very happily, I see that Huawei has become the first core partner in AUTOSAR from China. I hope that shows you a little bit how this AUTOSAR partnership is correlated to the SDV success. But still, there are doubts. I often hear from the market, people say, oh, I know that AUTOSAR classic platform is very well accepted on the market. That is known, but how about the new platform, AUTOSAR AP, which is used on the microprocessors and high performance SoCs. And I was not sure about this like 1 year ago. So we did some survey, firsthand information, and we did direct discussions with companies, getting their ideas, and we came to this. You see, there are really already many companies using AUTOSAR adaptive platform, standard and technology really in their products. And from this list, you can see it's a combination of companies, OEMs, tier ones from Europe, China, Japan, etc. And it's a widespread spectrum, which is a little bit surprising, but a good surprise to me. I hope also to everyone here. And we came to the conclusion AUTOSAR adaptive platform has crossed the chasm. So on this page, for those who are not familiar with this concept, this crossing the chasm is a famous marketing theory, which is still used very often today in terms of new technology adoption on the market. And for all new technologies, there are these phases of different groups of users on the market, innovators, early adopters, early majority, etc. And it is crucial for a new technology really to cross this chasm, to really survive and get further market. And many new technologies could not reach that because there's a very big chasm between the early adopters and early majority. And with this number, we see we have close to 20 OEMs, and also including new EV makers which people believe are very innovative companies, they're using AUTOSAR adaptive platform, and also around half of them are using it heavily, because we know AUTOSAR is very open. We don't require everyone to use a complete set in all products, but around 50% of them are really using it heavily, meaning using the complete stack and in all products possible in their portfolio. And also, I believe this information is quite new to many of us, and because uh, much of this happened just in the last 1 year. So this is growing very fast on the market. And why are company using AUTOSAR AP? We also wanted to get first-hand information. This is the result we have observed. Mainly, there are 3 points. One is efficiency. So with using standard from AUTOSAR, it provides standardized interfaces, and for software development, that means faster development deployment of SOA, and it's cheaper to use standardized solutions compared to if some company develop everything from scratch by itself. And also this quality, reliability, and maintainability inside AUTOSAR, which is trusted on the market, provides a very good basis for fast evolve of this software development. Another important topic is safety and security. And AUTOSAR inherits this natively, and this is very helpful for high performance SOC software development, where companies, if they use AUTOSAR AP, they know, okay, these topics are taken care of there. When I use it, I'm more, I can sleep better and know my software has less problems there. And also, especially between the collaboration between companies, OEMs and tiers. Um, I personally experienced that if one company says, I do it according to AUTOSAR, and then the other side will say, okay, I know what you mean, and that's okay for us. So this is a very good benefit. And another very, very important topic is about ecosystem. So with this global standard technology used, the companies are more sure that their products can fit not only in one region, one part of the world, but also in other regions of the world. When they go to a customer from another continent, they can say, "Oh, my product is following AUTOSAR, and that is probably the standard you are also using, and we can work together easily." And this is definitely a benefit. And also for many car makers, it also makes sense to have the software architecture based on this standard, so that when they export their cars, or for some companies exporting their components, these are fitting the other region requirements as well. So this is quite important benefit. So in general, we are really seeing standard is not a barrier, but really the support, the starting line for good software development, software-defined vehicles development. And I've said a lot, and you may still wonder, oh, can I believe you? You're AUTOSAR. You, of course, say everything good about AUTOSAR. And I propose to listen to many other speakers in the AOC who will provide insights about how they are using AUTOSAR, what the benefits are. And on the right side, you'll see a few examples from iSoft, Xiaomi, Geely, NXP, Ali, and Newsoft Reach. And here I would like to emphasize a little bit on the Alibaba demo presentation, which will be talking about RISC-V, which is also an open ecosystem, very similar to AUTOSAR, but for semiconductors. And in that presentation, you will be able to hear the likelihood of these two ecosystems and also the benefits bringing both together. After that, many of you will be very eager to see more in AUTOSAR and maybe participate in our AUTOSAR activities. And here I introduce our China Hub, what our um, impacts are and deliverables. So we have we're doing each year more than 10 events in China, and this covers more than 100 OEMs and tier ones worldwide, and we have more than 10,000 followers. And as deliverables, last year we started 3 new technical concepts inside AUTOSAR. So we, China Hub, is acting as a platform and enabling this to happen, that our innovative Chinese ideas are provided, contributed into AUTOSAR, and currently these are in discussion. And we have already provided more than 70 training courses online to the AUTOSAR community, and we have been interpreting the newly released standards parts of AUTOSAR for already 6 years. And here you can see the organization of the AUTOSAR China Hub. I just introduced it very briefly. Firstly, our China Hub is an official AUTOSAR organization, and it consists of people from different AUTOSAR partners. And on one side, we organize user group events, user group meetings, where people can get better understanding of how to apply, how to use AUTOSAR better. And on the other side, we have this WG Bridge, or Working Group Bridge organization, which helps people, helps experts to get knowledge of how to be involved in the AUTOSAR standardization activities. And when they have good ideas, innovative ideas, requirements, they can easily come to AUTOSAR and into the discussions and bring their ideas into future standards. And on this page, I just want to show a few faces from our AUTOSAR China Hub. This is a team who are working together, organizing different activities, events in the hub, and you can also see the logos where these colleagues are from. And we are always open to have more experts joining us. So why should companies and individuals come to AUTOSAR China Hub and do activities together? Here we emphasize, or we found mainly these topics. For companies, firstly, it's a place to get early information of what's happening on the market, not only AUTOSAR, but also other automotive software topics. And with that, helping the companies, helping their leaders to know better the market, what's happening, and make good decisions, make strategic decisions for the company. And another thing is companies have needs in software development. They, especially for the part of basic software and middleware, there is a benefit of bringing those requirements, implement them in the AUTOSAR, this global standard, which will help the company in future development. And for individuals, it's also very beneficial when working in our China Hub. Uh, Firstly, there's a chance to engage in high frequency discussions with experts from many other companies who share the same challenges and can share the expertise and solve the challenges together. And also for personal development to establish professional brand and also technical authority on this global stage. And to acknowledge that, we as China Hub also show our appreciations to the contributions from companies and individuals. On the left side, you see we provide contribution awards to companies who provide the more expert input and contributions in our activities. And on the right side, you see we have different ways as a small thanks, appreciations to our experts. For example, letter of appointment as trainers or as our speakers. And we have honorable titles and top trainer awards. And also we have a speaker workshop to discuss together challenges. So overall, our China Hub would like to provide this platform and run this software community that all software experts can come together and talk about the future of automotive world. And we have a booth in the AUTOSAR corner at the end. So welcome everybody to visit us during the breaks. And together we shape the ecosystem, win the next era of automotive software. Thank you. Next, I would like to invite Joachim to proceed with his slides.
Thanks, Jing. Earlier this week, we were at the user group meeting in Chongqing.
Yes.
And actually, I think why didn't you mention, or maybe they know already, this book? I think this is also...
Right. Thank you for reminding of that. Actually, we wrote a book about AUTOSAR AP with efforts from experts from our China Hub. And it is brand new, and we have maybe a few hard copies there at the corner if you want. Visit us, and if you want a signature from the writers, let us know. Thank you.
I want a copy with your signature in it.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, then I want to also show a little bit about what's going on the worldwide scale. And I want to talk about SDV and AIDV. The majority of companies... oh, it's black. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. So typically when you talk about the transformation in the industry, we talk about S-curves. And this first S-curve, this is where everybody's coming from in the automotive world. It's hardware-defined space. And the second big phase is software-defined. Especially if you look in Europe and in the US, everybody's talking about software-defined vehicle and how they're transforming from hardware-defined to software-defined. And when you look in China, you see that a lot of companies already are in the next phase, which is AI-defined, or actually I like sometimes even better customer-defined, because I think you have a much closer loop to your customer. And this really gives speed. Yeah? And you're really executing it with unmatched speed. And so what does this mean for us? Is when I came into my role as a AUTOSAR spokesperson, I looked and I saw that this has gained some... Actually, it was not moving as fast as needed, the AUTOSAR standard. So it was considered actually more perception, also complex. Yeah? Complex because at the end, it was the sum of all the people who are contributing to AUTOSAR, and they put all their ideas together, but they didn't look at really the smallest usable subset. But it's also because there were so many members, and they all didn't agree yet. And I think this is what we need to change. And also specification heavy, there was only the specification. There was not the implementation, which meant that it was relying on the companies to implement the software. And this basically broke the loop to the customer. Because if you have something, let's say you have a standard, and then 2 years later, the first implementations, and then you get the feedback from the field, too slow. It was too slow. So we're trying to really accelerate and really close this feedback loop and get also to implementation. And then after I joined, we looked deeper, and there is certainly a lot of things which are really good. I mean, global coverage, we saw it from Jing just now. Then on the funding side, I mean, it's not such a large organization. So we need to also change that we have more people really actually contributing to the code so that we can become faster. and not only develop the standard, which is great. I mean, it's accepted in the industry, it's worldwide, and everybody's using it, as we saw from Christian at the beginning. Pretty much all the OEMs are using it. So we now need to also, beside the standard, also have the code. And this is also an area of improvement. And then also it was basically started in the hardware-defined space. So now we have SDV and AIDV, so there's features missing. Yeah? So we need to also add them. And then also a lot of it is usability. Yeah? If you listen to the developer, they have these fast running loops with CI/CD. And if you have like 5,000 parameters to configure, this takes forever. And so I see projects where it's built like layers. So you have one layer taking 2 weeks, the next layer 2 weeks, the next layer 2 weeks. And so basically after like 2 months or 3 months, you have the ECU running, and then you get again, the feedback loop is much too long. So we have to be faster. Yeah? And this is, I think, what is coming. And we have a lot of members here. As we saw, it's over 310 members in the core premium. Also, Christian showed this. But what I want to say is, and I'm really honored as the spokesperson to represent you here on stage. So thank you for the opportunity and speak for the AUTOSAR consortium. So normally I would ask it when I show this slide, who is an AUTOSAR member? But in this case, I assume pretty much everyone in the room. So why did you all come together? And we also saw from Jing some of the items already. I mean, it's supporting the SDV and AIDV space. It is scalable. It supports automotive grade, creates faster time to market, lower life cycle cost, and also is upgrading and updating, so to really support modern software development flows. But what we're seeing is it's turning now. So we are changing from spec to also code. Yeah? So we also implement the code. From committees to faster delivery. We're not there yet, but we need to become faster as an organization. And then focus on real platforms, focus on real software, focus on deployments, really cover development and delivery, improve the user experience at the end. Yeah? Not only of the end customer, but also you as the developer. We need to make your life easier. And in order to prove this, we created the CAPI Common Adaptive Platform. And we really want now to not only have AUTOSAR specification, we want to have the real code available in GitHub, running on real ECUs, running at real customers, and demonstrating at today in the AUTOSAR booth, and have the CAPI software available. And here I want to ask Thomas back to me on stage because we want to recognize somebody in the room. So I'm asking Leo Hongze, the CEO of iSoft, together with us on stage to make CAPI real. So we want to thank her for your contribution to the success of CAPI, and we have it now available because of iSoft doing the work. Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Maybe I think we need to come in the middle. They want to probably make a picture of us. Yeah. Okay, and I think you want to say a few words, so we can give you the microphone. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Joachim. For 18 years, iSoft has grown with AUTOSAR together. We have gained immense value from this community. When we heard about the CAPI project, we think it's really good opportunities to give back for AUTOSAR. Today, we mark a new chapter. Innovations of AI software chips are reshaping our industry. We are facing unprecedented challenges. I truly admire AUTOSAR's leadership for their courage and vision in pursuing a new open model. Openness of source code is one of the best ways to drive efficient and collaborative growth. Our contribution of copy code is just a beginning. There's still have much work ahead. So I think predicting the future is hard. The best way to predict the future is to create it. So let us create the future together. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, to see it now, I mean, there is multiple opportunities today and tomorrow. There's also a session where ISOF will talk about, but we also have it on the booth. You can see the software code running. We have really multiple sessions and see it live on ECUs running. And I think there's a little car driving around also with the ISOF code on it. And so I think it's a great result. And but this is not supposed to be only one company. This is supposed to be you as a community. And you can all contribute to this code. And I think will be really the way to gain speed with this. So you can really contribute, develop the code, add to it. And so we want to evolve the standard and the code at the same time. And then we have also established like an open source type code and specification reviews and really built. And then we have maintainers, we have open source board, we have security and safety experts reviewing the code and then closing the loop, and really all of us can work together on this basis. So thank you again. Yeah, and so really the benefits is global coverage with one code, automotive grade, no issues with OSS licenses, because there's a lot of licenses which are hard to use because you cannot use them in production. So this is also reviewed, building on the latest global software foundation, and really lead versus follow, join the development and evolution of SDV and AIDV functionality, really join the project. It's available in GitHub, and we also plan to have releases now, not only with the specification, we plan to also have releases of copy really closely linked to the releases of the code. Currently, there is a lag because it's an earlier version, but this is what we need to do now together to really bring it up to the latest releases like 25.11, 26.11, and then also to release 27.05. And then this should be moving much faster in speed. So 2 months ago, I was here in China also. That's also where I meet multiple people here in the room already. I was at the China Auto Show, and there I was not just to look at the cars, which everybody can do. For me, the goal was to really find out why are you so fast here? Yeah, and I didn't focus on the what, I focused on the how. And what I found is you're using the same tools, a lot of Android I saw in cockpits, which is really good. CP and AP is deployed a lot. There's a lot of companies using it. The same, also, you're also all trying to introduce AI-based tooling. I saw a lot of demos from companies showing how they can automate the AUTOSAR flow by automating with AI the configuration. But the difference I saw, and the legacy companies, which are mostly in Europe and in Japan and also in the US, they are coming mostly from command and control. And I see here you have much more empowerment of people to make technical decisions. in the legacy companies, I see more silos, and here I see cross-functional collaboration in these startups. The typical companies also on the left side are more process-driven, and you guys, what I see here is data-driven. And then also from the past, we were focusing on perfection first, meaning at SOP it needs to be perfect. And you're focusing here on learning first, meaning you try to collect data, you react quickly, and then implement. And really, also what I saw, China is no more the market to adapt to. You are the reference model for the future of the automotive industry. So I see the companies need to be here to learn what we will see in the future and then adapt it somewhere else. And so what we saw in when I talked to the teams here, who is actually using the AUTOSAR adaptive platform already, and you saw the logos there also on earlier slides, like BMW, the Neue Klasse is using it in production. Mercedes, the CLA, and the GLC are both using AUTOSAR adaptive. Also the Xiaopeng P7, on the Xiaomi car, and many more cars are in production already with AP today, and also certainly all the suppliers, and also running on different semiconductors. And we cannot do this alone, so we have to work in an ecosystem with partners. And so AUTOSAR is fully open for many partners. I just selected a few, like for example, Jaspar, which is in the hub or the organization in China, then Covesa for the interfaces, Ekava, it's a European organization. Then there's also Eclipse S-Core, which is mostly European. So we just announced about 1 month ago on stage the intention that S-Core and AUTOSAR is working together. So this is not a competing organization, it's how we can work together. And if you look also into S-Core, all the S-Core members are also AUTOSAR members. And then also Sophie. So how does this look technically? This is an architecture from AUTOSAR in the center, everything circled around with red is our classic, an adaptive platform. On top is the extensions for vehicle and interfaces, which is basically what S-Core adds on top. On the left side, we see the development tools, which are covered by Sophie, and on the bottom, the signal interfaces are standardized through the Covesa standard. So AUTOSAR is not a silo. We are open for more partnerships. And at the same time, when you introduce now, because this was the original reason for this presentation, was when you introduce SDV and AIDV, you are changing also your vehicle architecture. You're coming from a domain architecture on the left, you're going into a centralized architecture with central ECUs and zone controllers, and then even now with fully connected to the cloud solutions. So we saw a lot of companies still in the domain. SDV is coming, and as I saw, mostly in the new companies they are going for a centralized zone architecture. And at the same time, we introduced to support these standards with the adaptive platform, and then also with the APIs for AUTOSAR. Here is a collection, and this is based on talking to different companies. When do they introduce the zone and centralized architectures or the vehicles, the domain architecture? And you see, for example, Tesla was really the first company to have a central zone architecture, and this is since 2012. So everything in green, this is when these companies are introducing central and zone architectures. And then on these architectures, we have AUTOSAR Classic and Adaptive running. So if I look at such an architecture, we have the central ECUs in the middle, and here we have AUTOSAR Adaptive running. And then in the zone controllers, this is typically where AUTOSAR Classic is running. And then also in the legacy ECUs or smaller ECUs, we have AUTOSAR CP running in them. Then on the strategic topics, so like I said, we are trying to make your life easier. So we're trying to add like these compute node classes, meaning specific ECU types, like a central main ECU, a zone controller, a zone gateway. So you can pre-select, I'm doing this type of ECUs, and then it will be pre-configured already some parameters which are needed here to not go through the basically maze of 5,000. It will reduce the area of fixing things. So I saw Christian making a presentation earlier at the user group. So if you want to learn more, it was Martin Lund from ETAS. You talk to him if you want to learn more about this. It's also available to be shown at the booth from ETAS because we ran out of space on the AUTOSAR booth. So therefore, this is shown on the ETAS booth if you want to know more about this. Really, these ECU classes. And then also we are adding more functionality. This is currently what is planned for CP and AP in the coming releases on top of what I showed earlier. This is the current already defined list. And then we have a whole list of additional features which are planned for these upcoming releases. And this is also where we need your input to really prioritize these items. At the end, we want to create a platform. So what really matters is, I think I want to focus on the middle here. This is a global platform. So we want to make a global platform across all geopolitical boundaries, which is limiting innovation at the moment. We see the world is not collaborating enough anymore at the moment. So we stay global. Yeah, we will not make regional solution. We will be a global solution covering safety, cybersecurity, and also the regulatory alignment. At the end, we want to really continue with specification and code. Really, CAPI will be the basis and also support XS code approaches in the future. We want to have full SDV and AIDV support. We want to really support CI/CD and MLOps flows, so really to have fast iterations. Continue to be an open ecosystem, like the companies I mentioned, Sophie, Escor, Covesa, Jasper, etc. And we want to be adding more in the coming months. And also do fast execution from specification to really go to running systems. Global scale, grow our global partners. Right now, we are kind of stable at 310, but I think we will see some new companies joining soon. I'm already seeing the contracts in signature at the moment. Then also lean and modular. And finally, also continue with safety and security, also supporting AI. So last, join the action, yeah? Contribute to CAPI, align your platforms, move faster together. AUTOSAR is alive and kicking. Thank you.